Hello friends, welcome to a new video. Very often people ask us how to make someone open their mind to us. How can I make somebody talk freely to me? These are some of the popular questions we often come across. And in this video, we are going to discuss how to make someone open their mind to you, how to listen so that someone will talk freely to you. This is what we are going to watch in this video. When you listen to a person, you should be fully available to the person. You shouldn't be distracted. You shouldn't be checking your phone every now and then. You shouldn't be looking at your watch, or you shouldn't be looking elsewhere and pretend that you are listening. This won't work. And you should, when listen to somebody talking, you should listen to two aspects. One is the content and second is the feeling. When a person talks, there is obviously a content in what he wants to talk about and there is a feeling involved, otherwise they wouldn't want to talk. So when somebody talks to you, you should be able to identify these two aspects, the content and the meaning of what he speaks about. And to make this possible, to facilitate this process, you should in the first hand be non-judgmental. You shouldn't have any pre-cast ideas. You shouldn't diagnose this is a problem of general anxiety or this is a problem of depression. You should suspend all judgments and you should just listen to the person. You should just be available to the person. This facilitates, this makes the other person secure to reveal his heart to you. Now we are coming to a little more serious aspects of the art of listening. This is the most important part in listening. It is called responding. In counseling terminology, we call it responding skill. It involves three aspects. One, responding to the content. Two, responding to the feeling. And three, responding to the meaning. We will look into each of these. So responding involves two aspects, responding to the content and responding to the feeling. Now how do we do this? Responding to the content means you paraphrase the content of the speaker. You put it in a nutshell and speak it back to the other person and identify the feeling involved in this. And what is the feeling when he speaks about this matter? And once you do that, the other person will start exploring more into the difficulties, more into their emotions. For example, suppose a mother comes and talks to you about her son's problem. She shares her fears, her apprehensions that her son doesn't score well in the exams. And she feels very anxious about the situation. She feels insecure about her son's future. And this makes her very distressed. This makes her very depressed. How will you respond to that? You can say something like this. So you are feeling very distressed. You are feeling very sad because your son does not study well. This is the way you respond. It can be put in a format like this. You are saying that in this situation, you are saying that your son is not studying well. And you feel dash, you feel sad. This is the format you can use. You are saying dash and you feel dash. This can be a format which you can use in such situation. You can use this format to respond. You are saying dash and you feel dash. In this context, again I repeat, you are saying that your son does not study well and you feel sad because of this. This will be a way of making the other person explore and talk more about their feelings, their concerns, their fears. The third aspect of responding is responding to the meaning. What does it mean? Responding to the meaning. It is asking the question, how the whole situation affects the person and what does it mean to the person. Answering this question, you get what is the meaning of the problem to the person. For example, suppose a mother feels very sad about her son not performing well in the exams. The meaning of the problem is, according to her, that she is a failure as a mother. She believes that only when her son studies well, she is a good mother, otherwise she is a failure. So the meaning of the problem situation is her feeling that she is a failure. So when you address this aspect in counseling, or even when you do an everyday talking, you should ask questions, or you should respond in such a way that it addresses these aspects. How or in what way the whole situation is affecting the person, affecting her feelings. This is the meaning of the problem, and responding to the meaning means responding to this aspect of the psychological problem or psychological difficulty. Suppose after you give a summary response with a feeling, for example, you are feeling sad because your son does not study, she may sometimes, or he may sometimes, if it's a father, add more to it. Maybe they add some more points to it. It may go something like, he spent a lot of money in arranging a tuition, in buying all sorts of books for him. Despite all that, he fails to study. In that case, you should add that also, and then again repeat the same process. So you are saying that you did all possible things, you arranged books, bought all sort of arrangements for his tuition, that too with a lot of limitations in the financial resources. Add all that, and then he may feel understood. He may feel that you understand him, you understand his concerns, you understand his feelings. This will make the person relaxed. This will make the person confident to talk and trust you. Now, to put it all this in a nutshell, the art of listening consists of, first of all, you should have social skills, you should have politeness skill, you should be able to know how to respond when somebody opens their heart to you. And in responding, we spoke about two important aspects: responding to the content and responding to the feeling. And the psychodynamics of this can be put like this: when somebody is heavy in the heart, when somebody feels down in the dumps, when someone is depressed, all these feelings are happening at a brain processing where there is no thinking involved. Whereas when somebody talks, it's some other area of the brain that involves in this process, like the prefrontal cortex. When somebody talks, it's a whole brain processing, or it is a brain integration process. So once this happens, they feel relieved, they feel kind of relaxed, they become cool after this process. And they always say, naming is taming it. When you name a feeling, when you speak about a feeling, it is tamed, it comes under control. Then they know what to do about that in the future. Now suppose somebody came to you and they just sit silent, they don't talk, they don't open their mouths, they look gloomy, depressed. How would you respond to that? This may be situations which very often happen in counseling situation. It may happen in everyday situation also, when somebody is heavy in the heart, when they feel down in the dumps, and they're not able to even know how to begin. Then your response can be like this. You can say, oh, you feel so sad or so depressed that you don't even know how to begin. When you make a statement like that, this will facilitate the other person to open. This may help the person to start talking about at some point about his problems. And now, what if somebody falls silent in the middle of his talking? This may also happen. This often happens in a counseling situation. Somebody started saying, and the story went on, and in the middle they stopped. They don't know how to proceed. They fall silent. In both the situations, one thing you should do is you shouldn't jump to conclusion. You shouldn't haste to give an answer, give a response. You should give sufficient time for them to settle. And once they settle and still they don't talk, if it happens in the middle, you can do one thing. You give a summary response as we did in the initial phase. Give a summary response. And you can ask some WH questions. How do you feel? What happened? And when did it happen? Where did it happen? These type of WH questions can be asked. But one thing you should remember, never ever ask a WH question which is why. You shouldn't ask, why do you feel like this? That shouldn't be a question at all in counseling. That shouldn't be a question at all when you want somebody to open his or her heart to you. Just ask all other WH questions, how, when, where, who and all. That is okay. But never ever ask, why do you feel like this? In this video, we spoke about the art of listening, how to make a person open his heart, how to make a person talk to you freely. And in this we found the observation skills. You should physically observe every aspect of the other person, and you should be physically completely available to the person. And then we spoke about listening to the content and listening to the feeling. And the last step in this process is responding to the content, responding to the feeling. And this will help any person to trust you, to speak their mind to you. I hope this video will help you to understand the psychology of making somebody talk, open their heart, or I hope this will make clear the attending skill aspect of counseling. Hope you understand it. Till we meet again, goodbye and take care.